Hi, my name is John, and this video is my worst 10 reads of 2022. Now, I want to note before I start this book, except for the two books that I DNF'd, which are on this list, all of these books I gave 3 stars to. I didn't really read any terrible books this year, and a lot of the books that are on this list simply come down to my reading taste. There are certain things that I don't enjoy reading as much as other people do. So, if I mention a book that you enjoyed reading, I have no problem with you enjoying that. Now, my number 10 is a book that's really easy to pick on. And what's kind of interesting is that there are 9 books that I read that I actually enjoyed less than I enjoyed reading Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. This book is, I actually enjoyed this book, considering that it's a teenage love story, which I have zero interest in reading those types of stories anymore. As many people have noted before me, the vampires in this story aren't necessarily let's just say they're not the best representations of vampires in literature. I read this book in August as part of Garb August, and a fun drinking game for this video might be how many books I actually read in August that made this list. Number 9 on this list is Beguiled by Night by Nicole Eigener. This book is kind of written as an anti-Twilight. The problem is because it's a vampire romance, I just didn't find the book all that interesting. If you are interested in vampire romances, I do suggest giving this a try. Number 8 hurts me a little bit because it's actually by my favorite author. This is Politician by Piers. This is the 3rd book in his Bio of the Space Tyrant series. I did not put multiple books of a series on this list. Otherwise, I might have put the first book in the series, which I read in August. This book actually has some good ideas in here. It follows the main character in his rise in politics, starting as a local organizer, moving to a governorship, and then as he runs for president. Big problem I have with this book is there's a subplot in this that's so ridiculous that it really kind of spoiled the story for me. Number 7 on this list is Nightmares and Dreamscapes by Stephen King. This is a collection of short stories, and only a handful, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 of the stories did I actually enjoy. The vast majority of the stories I really only gave 3 stars to, and they weren't anything that I particularly enjoy reading. Number 6 on this list is The Heart of the Sun by Bethany Campbell. Another book that I read as part of Garb August. This is a Harlequin romance. And again, there's a reason I don't read these types of books. And I don't necessarily know that this is a strongest example of this type of books either. Because the book is as old as it is, it doesn't have a lot of ratings on Goodreads. But the ones that are there lead me to believe that this isn't necessarily the best of those types of books. Number 5 on the list is The Court Dancer. There was a brief section of the book that talks about the main character's childhood that I found interesting, but the rest of the book honestly just kind of bored me. I know that there are people that will enjoy this book a whole lot more than me. Part of the reason I didn't like this book is it's awkwardly written, and it's a translated work, so I don't know if it's because of the translation or just the language used in the original writing. Number 4 on this book is a book that actually I should kind of like. This is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Problem I had with this book is that The main character in this makes a lot of decisions that I struggled believing that he would actually make. The book is fast paced and there's a lot of action in it, and I did enjoy that aspect of it. And I do understand that, why people enjoy this book. It's just the decision making didn't really jive with me, so that kind of put me off to the book. Number three on this list kind of hurts me to include on this list because I think the author is a really great guy. Um, he's a fellow booktuber and he puts out fantastic content. If you've not watched Pae Veo's channel, Attention, you really should check it out. It's just this novella really did not work for me. And, when I watched the video where he announced the book, I kind of got the feeling, what, I don't think I'm going to enjoy it, but because I trust Pae. Now, his other book that I've read of his, there's some really great short stories in this. This book, just not my reading taste. The book ponders a question that I just don't find that interesting. Now, I did like how this book ended. The ending of this book is actually what saved this book from a 2-star rating. I did give this book 3 stars, and it's easily the book that I enjoyed the least of the books that I actually finished. I actually had trouble picking between my worst 2 reads of the year. Honestly, the primary reason I gave this book the number 2 spot is because it is by an independent author. It's his debut novel, and I didn't want to feel like I was picking on the guy too much by making it my worst book. But in a lot of respects, it was the least favorite of the books that I read. I got about 200 pages into this book before I stopped reading it. And the early part of the book, there's a lot of kind of rookie mistakes in the book. I didn't enjoy reading any of the main characters' point of views. And then I got to the trials that the book is named after. And the way those are set up really doesn't make sense to me. And I put the book down at about the 200 page point, and I never got enthusiastic enough to pick it back up. I knew that if I finished the book, I was going to give it a bad rating, and I don't rate the books that I don't finish. So I went ahead and stopped the book at that point. The title of the book is The Trials of Ashmont by John Palladino. And now we get to the worst book in 2022 that I read. I didn't finish the book. I stopped the book after about 200 pages, which is about a third of the way into this big chunker of a book. This book is Caliban's War by James S.A. Corey. Again, none of the characters that I were reading were all that interesting except for the one. I don't remember the character's name, but it's the character that loses his daughter at the beginning of the book. Was sort of enjoying his character line, but there were 2 characters in here that I really struggled to connect with. One of them I just didn't think was very realistically written. The story, the character, I didn't have too much problem with. So the story line around that character. That character was a Space Marine Bobby, and then there's one character in here that I could not stand. That for some reason, this is a lot of people's favorite character, but that's Varslara, or I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but this character is kind of the power behind the power type of person, and I just found her storyline annoying. I didn't like her. I didn't like her storyline at all. So, again, it was a book that I'd actually planned on being a part of a group discussion with, and I didn't want to talk about all of the things that I did not like about the book. So I just went ahead and stopped reading the book and dropped out of the group read. So those are the 10 worst books that I read in 2022. 2 that I did not enjoy at all. And then the other 8, I had to fill out a top 10 list. So 8 of those books I gave 3 stars to. And I did not necessarily mind reading them. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.